When was the last time you let yourself be soft? Not because you had to, but because something inside you remembered it was safe. We live in a world that worships force, urgency, and performance. Gentleness seems outdated, fragile even. But what if that's a misunderstanding? What if gentleness is not the absence of power, but the ancient root of it? This is a meditation for those tired of pretending, for those bruised by emotional hurt, relational pain, and words that cut deeper than they should. This is a call not to armor up, but to return. Return to the self, to the breath, to the seasons within you. Because gentleness, when honored, is not weakness. It is the strength to bloom slowly, to rest without guilt, to speak without screaming. It is the courage to live in season. We're conditioned to believe it's either or. You're either soft or strong, kind or powerful. But this is a false binary, because true power does not require performance. It requires presence. There is immense strength in being able to hold silence without filling it, receive pain without immediately reacting, set boundaries without punishment. The paradox: gentleness is not the opposite of strength. It's its highest refinement. Nature lives in cycles, so do we. There are times for rising and speaking, and times for curling inward and reflecting. But modern culture ignores winter. It skips over autumn. It demands summer, endlessly. Yet our hearts, when broken by betrayal or words that wound, enter winter by design. And it is in that cold, quiet place where gentleness is born. Not from comfort, but from truth. Not from avoidance, but from sitting with what is. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly. Imagine a sacred garden inside you. It is ancient. It is wild. It changes with the seasons. In spring, shoots of hope push through. In summer, the canopy is alive, vibrant, expressive. In autumn, leaves fall without fear. There is no shame in release. And in winter, the soil sleeps, deep, hidden, listening. Now walk through this garden. Notice which season you are in. Maybe your leaves are shedding. Maybe your buds are forming. There is no wrong place to be. Whisper to yourself, I honor this season. I do not rush it. I live with it. The inner critic says, you're too emotional. You need to be tougher. You shouldn't let them affect you. But the inner healer speaks differently. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It's a compass. Gentleness is a form of discernment, not weakness. You can be open and protected at the same time. Try these new inner mantras. My softness is sacred. I protect myself without becoming hard. I do not force. I allow. Try this morning ritual for 5 minutes. Sit comfortably. Inhale deeply. I honor this season. Exhale slowly. I release the need to rush. Then ask yourself, what is the pace of today's season? What does gentleness look like in how I move, speak, and choose today? Let your breath and body become allies in seasonal awareness. Let slowness be your spiritual practice. When hurtful words echo, the instinct is defense, to build walls, to strike back. But consider, what if your response could match your inner season? What if, in winter, you said nothing, but listened deeply to what the pain is asking? What if, in spring, you responded with honesty and vulnerability? Gentleness doesn't mean silence. It means responding in right timing. With care, seasonal gentleness teaches, you do not have to match the energy that wounded you. You can create something entirely new. Gentleness does not mean saying yes to everything. In fact, the most sacred form of gentleness is a boundary spoken with love. A seasonal boundary might sound like, I'm in a quieter place right now. Can we connect later? This season is calling me inward. I hope you understand. I'm not available in that way, but I care. When boundaries are rooted in season, they feel less like rejection and more like rhythm. You are not closing a door. You are tending your garden. In seasons of transition, grief, healing, change, we often want clarity now. We demand resolution. But seasonal living teaches us, the seed does not rush to become a flower. The tree does not grieve when its branches go bare. Winter is not failure, it is preparation. Gentleness says, wait, something is happening beneath the surface. This is power without force, action without urgency, wisdom without noise. Your creativity has seasons too. Honor them. Spring, new ideas. Summer, expression and sharing. Autumn, refining, letting go. Winter, resting, reflecting, dissolving. If you create in rhythm, you never run dry. You no longer exploit yourself for productivity. Gentleness with your creativity is a way of saying, I am not a machine, I am a living rhythm. Healing from betrayal doesn't require pretending it didn't happen. It requires gentleness toward your own timeline. There's no deadline on grief, no rush to repair, but there is always the option to be soft with yourself, to forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve the freedom of your own peace. Forgiveness is not a gesture of weakness. It is the letting go of internal warfare. There is nothing to become. There is only something to remember. You are already the river that flows, not the rock that resists. You are already the garden that knows when to bloom and when to be still. You do not need to force your healing. You need to honor the rhythm of it. Gentleness is strength. Slowness is wisdom. Seasonal living is not an escape from life. It is a return to how life truly works.